Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live AMA session. So, I thought of doing a live session, but in terms of that, was that like I felt there should be a kind of a, like a direct interaction. So, I've made a lot of podcasts. So, you've seen a lot of my podcast content, and many interesting guests have come on. So, I actually, like started off the podcast where I was directly on camera and talking about a certain topic within marketing, and obviously in a structured way in points and all that. And then obviously once I might made quite a few episodes, like in that kind of an explainer format, then I thought of calling on guests and all. Obviously you have to have some kind of base, like you're in content creation, you're doing something, you're sharing your knowledge, and then once you do that, then it's kind of a social proof that okay, then people, when they see that, they kind of encourage to come down for a podcast and see you. So this kind of session I'm kind of planned it where I put out a post yesterday that like I'm coming out for like AMA for all you don't know is like ask me anything session. So where anyone would come down, like who is generally in the content creation space. So they will then people ask them questions, about the profession or even advice based or various other things, which kind of is a good experience for both the parties, that are involved in this particular process. So that was my motivation to kind of do that. And when I put it, obviously a lot of people they shared their questions and all and DM'd, and then certain questions that I've kind of shortlisted out of that, which are kind of interesting to the audience in general, not only marketing but in general, could be just life advice from me or something like that. So, which I feel would be of value to you. Awesome. So let me firstly start with one particular thing, which was the contest that I think I had posted about, in my particular communications that I'm generally done on LinkedIn. So that's a kind of an interesting contest I have, which I'm giving out an IPL ticket for that, the winner. So basically, uh, so a little bit more about this contest. Like, so in this particular session, if you go in the particular description, you will see that Google form link. So this is the particular contest where the winning person, the match that is on 3rd May, that's 3rd May 2024 of Mumbai Indians versus Kolkata Knight Riders. So that's a ticket for that you get if you answer the questions in the contest. So basically, there is only one particular question. So I'll kind of share. You have to. It's on a particular episode of the particular podcast that I have, and then I can kind of take you through that a little bit. So if you see that particular, if you open up the form, just some details of the contest are given here, and virtually just basic details, your name, LinkedIn profile, and contact details and all. But the main is this particular question. So in this particular question, you'll have to click this, then you go to the particular chapter in that podcast YouTube video, and then you have to answer the particular uh, question for that. So obviously in this kind of thing, I will be getting a lot of responses on this, which are correct. So we'll kind of randomly choose the person, the lucky person or lucky draw kind of thing, and then see, then that person will win that particular ticket. So it's kind of a giveaway that we have at this my podcast, that is the MI podcast. Awesome. So let's start with the certain the questions that were asked, and I kind of shortlisted. And definitely any other questions also during this session we can take. If someone asks any particular question you like, we can kind of immediately take it. But obviously, mostly it's going to be the questions which have been communicated me in my personal professional network when I floated this particular AMA, and then I got the same. Awesome. So, firstly, what are my major strengths in marketing that I feel. So you kind of can reference this like a lot of times, even as a marketer, you will be asked this particular question in, like an interview or a sales pitch or something. So you have to have something very specific because marketing has kind of become, a lot of, very granular. There are a lot of things within it. So like when when your communication is like I'm good in A, B, C, D, and a lot of things, then it's kind of you don't hold the attention of the person, and the person also feels like you can't be a master of all. You have to be a master of a few, and that's why you're hiring you for a specific skill set. So personally, for me, I would say strength would be the content creation and distribution aspect. So today, every company you get, whether it is leads or website traffic or it could convert into sales is through content. Now there are different kinds of content, whether you're selling a product and it's an e-commerce platform or an aggregator, and how you showcase your content within that. It could be the pics, the different kind of short format videos, it could be a long format. So there are various kind of content which we all consume all the time. So I feel as a marketer that content creation process is something I really enjoy, and something which even with this podcast and all, it is the skill of mine has kind of grown. um, Another aspect of this would be also the distribution. So not only it's enough to you creating a content piece, so it's content piece like say like a videographer, photographer also can create great content pieces in the pictures or videos. But then where a marketer would majorly come in would be the distribution. Like, how do you put out that content, in what kind of format, what kind of way, in what kind of channels? How do you paid way, if you're promoting it, through ads and all, to a particular TG? So that would be come under the distribution. So this feel I feel would be one of my strengths. Another strength of mine is I feel I have an analytical mind. So like if a particular marketing budget is given to me, and obviously everybody in business, you have a particular target of a certain amount of qualified leads, or if you just a completely digital business, could be just online sales, like somebody just goes to your website and buys the product. So the ability of a marketer to convert that budget into actual results of qualified leads or online sales is something which I feel I have a decent hold on in terms of a skill. Because when you think with an analytical mind, and that maths is involved, creativity is involved, a lot of aspects that come into, like say, performance marketing, then that's something I feel you can deliver upon, and that is what a business I feel would value in terms of a skill. Awesome. Let us look at the next question. So with the advanced use of AI in marketing, what is the value addition provided by marketers? So this is a very important question. Not only I feel for marketers, for all kind of professions. Like with the, how AI is advancing, you are seeing like job loss is happening. Like people, not many jobs are being, because a lot of automation can be done. So like we as a working professional have to kind of question like what value I bring to the table. Is it like a lot of repetitive tasks that am I doing, or something like in a pattern which like a software can kind of take over? So uh, with the focus of, if you're talking about with a marketer, they have to look at it like what is the value I'm bringing to the particular thing. Like if a marketer, like you, if you are say writing an article, or you're shooting kind of a video, a short video or something for your business, it's basically where the marketer comes in. He is converting their education and expertise, and converting it from getting attention from the TG, and that into business goals. So your education experience is converting in attracting attention from TG, and that converts into business goals. So you know what your TG is actually looking. So actually, when you're creating any creative, like you have an ability to see what your TG actually wants, and then convert that, grabbing that attention, and then converting into like a desire for the, like a demand for the services. So that is converted into business goals. So that an AI can't do. Basically, a experienced person can only do that. You can't just leave it to an AI. That is where ownership, responsibility, which a person takes, is very important. So that's where you come in. And also a deep understanding of the psyche of a TG. So an AI can honestly not have that much understanding of human beings in general, right? So if you look at a marketer, like he has to understand the psyche of the in totality, like when we do a customer persona analysis, it is a complete totality. It's not like just a particular need that person has and is being fulfilled by some USP of your product. It is completely analyzing what are his needs, and how does he perform, what motivates him, what does he see in media, uh, what are his interests, all those things. So that is a very kind of a deep thing. That is kind of a basis of a business also, where how you see what is in demand, what are people demanding, and that is where the skill of the marketer comes down. It's just the results portion of it, how your particular skill that you are bringing to the table, and it's converting into business. Any creative person today now has to be into the business mode of it, wherein the business goal that is required by your particular domain, or that has a role to play. Your domain has to a role to play in the particular business. You have to understand it very deeply. You just can't superficially, the days of superficially doing work or mid-level content or output, that is not anymore going to work. So that is, I feel, is where in this context of marketing would come in. Awesome. Next question is it possible to successfully market organically? So in organic marketing, obviously, is without a marketing budget. So um, I would say that is how you define the particular success. Like today in a particular crowded market where there is, getting the attention of the consumer is so difficult. So these particular platforms and all have majorly become paid in terms of, like, what content is kind of pushed, like organic, like say a small channel is like 1 in a million chance of it getting really high level of distribution. So these are the realities which are there, marketers are aware of. And when they have conversation with as a, say, as a consultant with a client, or if you're working in a company with the top management, that is what is something that has to be communicated. So you have to know that organically there is very less scope, and it's like marketing is not just posting particular great, even if it's a great content piece, it's not going to get that distribution without the paid push in I think that's like a paid post or something, or a paid ad or something that pushes your, depends on what is your platform. So that's a major part of it. And that's the reason why, like, major media houses also, like, let's say when a production company, or they have a movie coming out, or like a music video, there's a lot of paid marketing that happens, like when we see, like, say, similar content, that is pushed. So that is the reality of that there has to be a paid angle and distribution. And obviously there are different others in budget. Like if you're doing a PR, you have to pay a particular representative agency, um, like produce content, like you are hiring people to make a great content piece, the actual, like say, a video professionals that are there in front of camera, behind the camera, influencer is kind of involved. So you're also doing an ad campaign per se in social media. So everything, like, to get result, you have to pay for it. Like there is nothing like that. If you're doing things personally, like just you have your channel or something, then that is because maybe there's no business model in place, but it is kind of required. So if you are you want a specific result in place, that is very important that you have paid like a budget behind that. So social media will only promote, like, if the guarantee is there of that money coming in, they will showcase that particular content. So it is very important to kind of note that. Awesome. Next question. So what does a digital marketing plan look like in 2024? That's right. So with advancement of technology, there are various other aspects that are the new channels come up, new kind of technologies, the way they are used, and kind of they can get you results. So there are quite a few things, but it's around the, I would say, the basics only. Like firstly, like say you would have your market research happening, right? So you have to identify the particular segments, the demographics, as per psychographics, interest behaviors. You analyze your competitors, what are the strengths and weaknesses, like a competitor analysis, and then a bit of using surveys, focus groups. So market research, very important. People ignore it. People just feel marketing is promotion, and that is far from it. Even marketing, I would say, is something, even if you when you start your company or product or service, it starts before that in terms of the market research, the viability of the product or service in the market. Awesome. Then I would say you will have the major heading would be like a brand positioning. What is like a unique value proposition, UVP, that is offered by you, and again the market viability of that. What is the brand personality you want to portray, and what kind of positioning you want to have clearly, and it's being communicated basically. So that is a part of it. Regularly, your marketing objectives that are there on a short term level should be mentioned, that for this month I want these many amount of leads, these many amount of, say, qualified leads. I want my conversion rate to increase from lead to sale, or say traffic coming into my site to people filling a form on my site. So all these things have to be defined. So short term, establishment of marketing objectives would come. Then different marketing strategies as per the channels that are used, like say content marketing strategy, your social media marketing, your SEO, your email marketing. So it's like a marketer is just handling this whole project, and then you have these are like the major headings and then subheadings that come in, and everything has to be kind of uh, under subheading. There would be like tasks, subtasks. So everything have to put forward as a marketer. That is expected. Like if you were say like a marketing manager, if you're working, so this is very important. Then what would come? Email marketing would come. Then you would have your partnerships. If you could collaborate with some other company in many in kind some kind of way, a lot of companies are doing that. Co-branded content they are pushing. Then collaboration, obviously. Then what we all see with the influencers that is happening, what kind of tactics you would use, that would also come, has to be communicated within a marketing plan. So if you have a referral program, or you're offering some kind of discount or special promotions, you have some kind of events you are being part of. One is being part of, and one is even organizing small level events at a small level, or it can be just purely like an online event that you have. How do you use your paid platforms in terms of advertising, Google ads, Meta ads, and all that? And even the data you already have of the clients and prospects and all, and how do you arouse that demand from them for re-engage them? That is kind of important. Then your budget, how do you allocate it for which all activity? How much is it? The marketing manager or marketing head should have this clearly in the marketing plan, that a certain budget, like say on a quarterly level, what all is the budget, where all is it kind of going. um, and then after that, obviously you're measuring it. I won't say at the end of a quarter or something. That is today's day and age where the data is available so quickly. You do a campaign, you know about it the next day because everything is kind of transparent and digital. Everything is in front of you. Kind of measure and analyze, and then if you can quickly take action on the same, so that is where your marketing mind comes in as a manager to quickly analyze and then make changes and then execute and obviously communicate to the team and then get the job done. And like you, also another thing in my plan, I would say one of the most important things would be your timeline that you particular, like you showcase what where I'm seeing, because you are heading a particular function in a company, so you have to show over a period of time what I'll be able to achieve. This is my plan, this is how I'm going about it. So a timeline has to be then, or at the end of it, obviously then you have to showcase ki I achieved that. That was the milestones for me also, that these were the achievements that I did. So all in all, it's I would say something takes a lot of effort and experience. So that is something, if it's a detailed in a way, it creates a great impression, not only the people you're presenting, but also you put yourself in an organized zones. You are there, so security, you know where you're going, there's a certainty, and then you kind of perform better also. Awesome. So let's take the next question. What techniques work in marketing in 2020? So this would be like, say, the what is kind of working like in trends, or like what is being done kind of successfully. So obviously with these virtual worlds and all that we are seeing with metaverse, and also you have Apple Vision Pro also launched, and earlier the headset was already there of Facebook, that is there. So with all this, we have to look at the virtual world. You create virtual events, like a very simple thing, which obviously would be these online events that you have, or you have these you create groups and communities. So this is a very important, like community marketing, how with technology and channels it's changing, and how you adapt to it is going to be very important. People today, like with so much of content out there, and even in terms of information, people kind of blank out, like they need to be engaged. That's why with in time immemorial, like why sponsorships work so much, like when people they are sponsoring events, such large brands, is because of that great experience they have, and then that product or service has a recall value. So this is a very important where virtually you can have events or use like the virtual world and all that for engagement from your TG. And I would say another one would be marketing with a purpose. Like if there's a purpose on it, when you're seeing a lot of brands, they showcase what they want to do for the audience or the environment. Then they talk positively, and they are taking steps on them. The way maybe they treat their workforce, or like for the environment, if they are doing something sustainability, all that communication. Not only I would say communication, but they are actually doing something and then communicating it in a structured way to a particular TG. So this is something which really hits home, and we feel that positivity from that brand and something, because today's customer is very aware, and they know their duties, and also what a brand brings to the table, not only to a particular product, also to the environment. It's like something where why there were certain many fast food chains where the plastic angle was removed, and then they had paper like a straw, whatever packaging and all. Is the signaling that goes is that we are someone who cares about the environment as a brand, and that's why we made these changes. So that is something that develops a respect for the particular brand in the eyes of the customer. So, and which they are actually doing, executing, and they're talking. And like there was a particular brand, you said that they used to say in their packaging that every product you buy, we would plant a tree or something like that. There was a kind of a communication that they have. So that again creates a positive outlook of that particular. So the purpose driven marketing is something I feel will be good going along. um, Awesome. Now let's move to some questions. I won't say marketing, but in general, like work life management, that will go in that particular zone. Awesome. So this I found is a interesting question. um, how youngsters, you use social media, because there's a lot of waste of time that's happening with social media. Like when you consider YouTube, Instagram, also social media, where you're just consuming. So like um, I observed, like I was going, I think in Mumbai Metro, I've gone obviously many times. So you see, youngsters in college, like blindly they are just looking up reels and just liking, seeing something for like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and and I would say 90% is just like entertainment based content that they have. So I feel it's kind of a waste of time. This is how you use product. Like you are mindful of what you are consuming. Entertainment is fine. Like if you look at a percentage, and if what I could suggest anyone, obviously would be like say about 100% of your time, if on social media, like 40% should be based on your information that you are getting about like your city, your country, your sports, politics, whatever is your domain. 40% would be education, where you are learning from certain content creators or brands who are putting in content which is something related to your domain, or something you want to know more about, even as a hobby, or you want to do something side hustle or something, anything. It could be like where there is information that would be there. And only I would say 20% would be entertainment. So entertainment also would be, I would say, something which a quality content out there, right? So where you are kind of learning from it. It's not like just subserving a primitive instance within that content entertainment, like something which a great movie that is there, or something very like something which um, motivates you, or like kind of there's like something like you learn, दो अच्छी बातें आप उससे सीखते हो और आपके दिल में रह जाती हो, something. So that kind of thing should be there within that. So in using your, if you're using social media like that, social media, you have to go through a lot of channels and feed that is coming, and then you have to click interested, not interested, all those things little bit you have to do, because then only the algorithm will serve it. Because algorithm is just, it's serving what you want, it will serve you, right? Like it will just maybe give you a choice, and when you make the right choices, then your feed will become much better. So obviously actively looking at something, unfollowing people, following certain better brand, looking up, doing a bit of your own personal research and all. So that is where it use productively, and try to like even within a smaller community, you're trying to benefit a smaller community. What happens that sometimes in social media, like youngsters, they just look at big celebrities or big major influencers, and then they're just in the conversation with them. But you have to ask yourself, like what are you getting out of it, right? Like you continuously are just serving some king, leader, whatever, right there, right? But you have to also get some value from it. So that you have to, that's why you create a balance. It's better to have a a small community or some group that you are part of, and they create content, and there you can like, comment, and a smaller, I'm not saying necessarily a smaller level creator, but somebody within your network, or somebody who has kind of responded to you, like if you message them, and there is some kind of give and take happening. So that is something you should kind of think about as a youngster. Like, why do I put so much energy into someone else's work so much if when there is no, I'm not getting anything in return? You have to question that, like, it's like if you're watching the IPL, so continuously watch each and every match fully, and also it's like, what is the kind of, purpose? The entertainment is up to a limit. Like, if that's the only entertainment you get throughout the day, that's fine. Like, um but you have to kind of question self, like, what am I getting in the return for that? Like, so it's just like just watching and going through the motion, so then it just becomes like a bad habit kind of thing. So that is where I feel, where you can use productivity on social media. uh, awesome, let's go to another question. How should we not let success go to our head and failure go to our head? Very awesome question, because it's somebody, a very evolved person has asked this. um, because end of the day, nothing is permanent. I'm not permanent, you're not permanent, nobody is permanent. So it's all about, journey of us, where we get happiness and we are giving value to society. So that is where that mindset, say, comes on, where success doesn't go to your head and failure to heart. As a human being, obviously you will be affected. So many of us get swayed by that and then get into a negative mood and all that thing. So I would say, if you separate yourself from that, you have your own goals and you are slowly trying to achieve that in small steps, with humility. That is where I think it would come in, where you're not taking that sense. So it's like, don't over celebrate on something like a small success that happens, and don't beat yourself up for something that just didn't work out. 99% things are not going to, like we all experience, it doesn't go the way we want to. So why do you have to ruin your mood? When you've had that experiences in the past, kind of move on. You can feel bad, is natural up to a time, but is then move on. Like, what have you and other things planned in the day, what you are doing, and then bang bang. And if you're kind of reaching a level of success, a lot of things just automatically kind of happen. Also, if you, it's like a reward of work done over a period of time. So that is the ways it could, people who are emotional could feel a little bit robotic to kind of things like that. But in today's day and age, so many things happening about you, to keep your sanity, you have to kind of think like that. How to zoom out in order to be more empathetic? Zoom out is basically context where you look at the larger picture. Like, um, sometimes you guys are all like caught up in just looking at things, like from our perspective, what we want, what is the thing, there's some injustice happened to us, or this is like every, like we feel the world revolves around us, like everything that happens is for us. Like, oh, I'm so good in that such particular situation, why did I get that, I did that, so now I change myself because people are not respecting me or something. Like, you get into that negative thinking. So in that kind of situations, you have to zoom out and have empathy. Like, look at different people's perspective, what is the life they go through, situation, and how they are reacting. When you zoom out, then that gives more perspective, and then you're able to handle situations better in the present. So when they say a leader, when you are choosing like a captain of a team and all, you said that has the person has to have a calm demeanor. What is that mean? Because that calm demeanor comes in, like, you are zoomed out and you don't take that much stress in things, because firstly, you don't have a control, lot of things uncontrollables, and then you think, look at things with other people's perspective as well. So like, so you kind of chill out, and then you try to solve the problems with that calm mindset. So zooming out is, because zoomed in is you're getting too much into the things and stressing yourself out, like. So that was the particular, I would say that developing empathy is with generally zooming out. Awesome. how to develop self motivation for long term earned success in an era of instant gratification. Beautifully put words there, because you've said long term earned success. Like sometimes success can be, a thing can be handed over, a thing you be successful, like say somebody just winning a lottery or getting some a job opening out of not trying that much, or getting closing a client in a business, like with that not much effort at that time, right? It just kind of, there was a major luck factor, and then just uh, happened. So that's what is saying that. But what people actually want is a long term earn, because what you're doing constantly, you're kind of rewarded in the long term for that, and that success is something which you feel also that is you have earned, and that gratification you get from that is amazing. And that is not what is instant gratification. So we are living in an age of instant gratification, like, so if you want to eat something sweet chocolate reward, you can instantly, like, you get like a 20 rupee chocolate, you go and eat it. Or you want to watch any kind of song, movie, or anything, like that, everything is instant. Like a lot of businesses are being set up just to fulfill this kind of instant gratification. But that is as consumers, that's businesses, that's the job. Whatever you want, you'll get it if you can pay for it. So but long term success is what you kind of desire, and that will obviously give you the finances also. So how do you keep yourself motivated along the journey? Also, important thing to notice is that, like, people around generally don't appreciate, like, like you, and in the long term journey, you have to motivate yourself, because in you generally maybe not having, if you have a great support system, that's fine, but let's be honest, majority of people are not having that support system, especially, like, when you don't have that much of success, or that place in the society. So um, where do you keep your self motivation is, when you have connection with God, like a spirituality aspect also is there, and you have faith in your ability. So there are various uh, things you kind of have to follow within that. So developing your motivation is a everyday kind of a process. You will feel little bit, but as a practice where you do these things, where you have particular, some people do like a positive chanting, they could do prayer, it could be reading positive motivational things, or looking at positive motivational content. Again, coming back to the feed that you have on social media, when you do all that, then it creates you in a right frame of mind, that you are feel that self motivation. Even when you must have noticed, when you say positive things to yourself, it could be the most negative situation that you are in, but when you say, you feel upliftment in your mood, that is where positivity and optimist comes in. Optimist person always wins. Realist person also would kind of get swayed in like what is right in practicality, and can go into negative, but an optimist person would always get him out of a negative because it's all in the mind, right? So how you use your mind with a positive aspect is kind of very important. So that is what I feel with respect to this. And the feeling you get after you earn that success over a period years of work is amazing. You cannot buy that in supermarket. Awesome. So I think this is the last particular question. So um yeah, this is kind of more in life related. Also marketing would be, how does the personal brand stand out in a crowded market? Awesome. So personal brand is something which we all are seeing today. Like if you talk about popular content creators, like I would say the first thing you think of when you see a popular is he has a great personal brand, right? So branding, that's a different question. How do you do that and all? But in terms of standing out in the a particular market, I would say um, something unique that you've identified about yourself in your journey. Like, say, when you introspect, like your life story, like, and you kind of put down things like, what is it in me which, positive aspects where you have overcome certain adversities, then there certain positive aspects of a personality come on which you can communicate in a story. So your personal brand is your own story which is unique to you. Everyone has a unique story. The way you are able to communicate that in your marketing communications is one factor of standing out. Second is, I think, little bit you have to get into a particular niche when you start off. So personal brand standing out in, within social media algorithm also when a very specific question you are answering. Like, so if you have a social media expert, you can't just, let's say you just go on a general path. Like, you have so many videos about, like, one day you talk about Google ads, one day you talk about Facebook growth, then you're talking about influencer marketing, then you talk about some other kind of lead generation. So it just, in terms of, unless all the videos are like amazing blockbuster level and they get viral, you have to start off with something very specific within it. So, like, so if you're marketing for a particular, like, say I've done mostly marketing in SaaS product company. So, like, in my personal brand, it should come out like that, like a SaaS product marketer, or converting, have a high conversion rate from qualified leads into sales or whatever. Like, so that is something which you have identified within yourself is yours. One would be like, so my 2 cents would be like, to summarize, would be your in your journey, what is something which you feel stands out, where you should read other people's journey, how they do personal branding, so you get ideas. Then, like, you're more self-aware. Okay, this person has done this, I have done that in a particular context. And then secondly, like, something specific when you're starting off your niche, right, and you're creating a lot of content within that in your particular niche. um, that is where you'll kind of stand out in a crowded market. Awesome. So great. I think it's been a great AMA here, where I got to, interact with everyone here. You asked me kind of a lot of interesting questions on marketing and work-life balance and management and social media. How do you consume and all those kind of things. So that was, I think, it's kind of an interesting episode that we have here. I won't say episode because not a particular podcast. So this would be under the particular interactions. One interesting thing is that AMAs, if you see, like, when that movie was coming out, Pathan, so Shah Rukh Khan, had done a series of AMAs. At that time, obviously there was a lot of news controversy around that. He didn't want to come in particular public and events and all and promote his movie anyway. So he just did these AMA sessions on Twitter. So got a awesome response, because but obviously his level of stardom and connect with is unmatched. But if you observe a format, and how much time he kind of dedicated to it, and he was kind of regular within that, how his team, his marketing team kind of designed that whole thing, and very nice, obviously dignified responses, and um, like a feel good answers that also he gives. So I think he created that positive sentiment. Like Gary Vee had also said that people also want to know more about you. Like, so if you're a domain expert, generally what happens is that all your content is just around your domain, and also, like, they don't know much about you. Like, people connect with people, like even the people we do business with. So I feel an EMA session also, like, whoever is into content creation, as something you can, it's like correlated to the live stream you have in like Instagram also, like you are answering. But AMAs, I would say, is more where you take out that time and you are answering questions specifically of the audience. General live stream Instagram, I've seen like you're just sharing what you want, and a lot of rubbish also comes out in that, because like people, whatever dumb things they will comment on. But in an organized way, when you are announcing a particular EMA, and then people, you put it out there and the people then answer it, like have interesting questions. And earlier only maybe they are DMing you or putting it, say you put out that scheduled post of that, and then people put in the comments or something. That's an interesting way, which not only content creators and celebrities, but say the management people in companies can use, because a big particular company you're talking to, say the CEO of that company, you have an EMA session with the CEO or some head of department, that has a more impact. Because why content creators, influencers have grown also, because that human aspect is there, and that's why humanizing your brand, that when you talk about that, that would kind of come within that. So awesome. So I think great, awesome session, everybody. I hope you are having a great day, and I'll see you also. You all please subscribe to the MI channel, Modern Intelligence on YouTube, and also the MI podcast, which is all on the major podcast platforms. So thanks a lot for joining. I really appreciate. So until the next time, I'll see you all. Take care.